Hello, hello! Perfidious Pete here, back to try and solve the mystery of the man with the missing legs in The Vanishing of Ethan Carter. Which, by the way, how was that not like the title of a Nancy Drew or maybe a Hardy Boys mystery? Nancy Drew and the Mystery of the Man with the Missing Legs? It's too perfect. It could have been, or you know what, even better, it could have been a Three Investigators book, because special place in my heart for the Three Investigators. They were always my personal favorite of the youth sleuths, as I like to call them. That Jupiter Jones, he was one savvy, bad son of a bitch. But I digress a little bit. To return to the mystery of the man with the missing legs here, just how did nobody ever write that book? It really should have been done. The title, like I said, is too perfect. Now, granted, it's not maybe fully apropos here, because this guy is also missing a big chunk of his skull and most of his blood. Well, no, I mean, I guess his blood's not missing. It's actually right here, but it's definitely not where it's supposed to be. So, yeah, I think we can all agree that maybe that part we should probably leave off the title, because that's just too long. Nancy Drew and the Mystery of the Man with the Missing Legs, half of a skull and almost none of his blood. That's too much for a title. That's bordering on a Transformers-length subtitle there. Which, by the way, Transformers The Last Night Avenges the Fallen by the Light of a Dark Moon is in theaters now. Go grab a ticket and be woefully disappointed. Wait a minute. Is that why somebody got all Rasputin on our mystery man here? Is that that's the secret? This guy wrote the spec script for Transformers The Last Night, which, based on the box office reviews and Metacritic score, is probably the death of the Transformers franchise. That's what happened. This guy wrote the script and Michael Bay is like, no, take him and have him dealt with. And so, like, Michael Bay's loyal crew drugged this guy out here, poisoned, beat, shot, and then de-legified him for costing Michael $250 billion, roughly. Okay. Yep, that's probably it. Mystery solved. I guess we can move on then. Speaking of moving on, we do have this area down here we want to investigate. We've touched all of the things that are around here, and I feel like we've probably got some more pieces to touch based on the size of the little, I don't know what to call it, phantom envelope into a portal into another dimension thing that we get when we've accumulated all of the clues. Do not enter. Watch me be a rebel. I'm fucking entering. You can't stop me. Look at this. I'm rebelling. Entering. Enter. Ooh. I'm a freewheeling playboy who lives by his own rules. Also, I really need to go back and probably just steal that dude's wallet. One, because there's a holiday coming up and I could use some beer money. And two, we could figure out who the hell he is. We wouldn't have to try and solve the mystery of it. We could just get his driver's license and be like, hey, it's Jim Ross. He worked over at the canning factory until is it a cannery, I guess? I don't know, get a little Edith Finch flow back there. Lewis in the Cannery I miss him so much. Still, we would know. It'd be like, no, this is Jimbo Jones, Jupiter Jones's unsuccessful alcoholic uncle who worked in the cannery until Michael Bay had him drug out into the wilderness and beaten to death. So what's going on? I'm just going around sort of what I feel like are the edges of this area. This is like a really big. I was thinking this would be like a cul-de-sac that maybe goes nowhere, but this area is huge. There's like a lot of shit back here, potentially. Let's just keep following. What is also with the creaking sounds? Trees in the wilderness do not make these noises. Healthy trees do not sound like that. Healthy trees do not sound like the door opening into the cellar of a haunted house. What, are there a bunch of unseen midgets up in the trees here just dangling from a rope, waiting for somebody to pass by and film a scene from The Wizard of Oz? Is that what's going on here? I don't condone that, especially the use of the term midget. It's just, not really appropriate. To think that, the term little people is much more preferred. Did we finally find the edge of the zone? Nope. I mean, this goes on forever, effectively. Well, I'm going this way until the game stops me, or I find something interesting. Speaking of which, interest is at an all-time low, both in the series and also... okay, did we find an invisible wall? Maybe. I hate the invisible wall mechanic. Okay, it's rocks, not an invisible wall. This is acceptable. See, using a terrain feature to stop my exploration? Wow, the visual. This game is just so beautiful, though. Every time I come across a crest or like a scenic outlook, I just kind of got to stop and take it all in, because this game, it's so visually striking. This is a really, really good example of what the Unreal 4 engine is capable of when you really open it up. It's gorgeous. So there's got to be something up here in this like sunny little natural spotlight, right? This didn't happen by accident. This isn't just here. There's like a thing here, right? This is a... Oh, maybe not. Just putting in a little beauty for the sake of beauty. All right, I'll allow it. Bloodstains on the rock. Am I getting any kind of Rorschach vibe off of this one? No, in so much as it really only looks like Rorschach's mask from The Watchmen. It's literally a Rorschach of a Rorschach. Let's keep exploring then. There's been nothing over here for me to touch and get my magic senses going. I'm Paul Prospero, psychic detective. If I'm going to solve the mystery of the man with the missing legs, I'm going to need to touch more stuff, like maybe the missing legs, so I can have a vision of what severed them, perhaps? We're just kind of aimlessly wandering around like an asshole, but the terrain and the setting is so freaking gorgeous, I just don't really mind. This is a way for me to enjoy nature without having to go out into nature, which I sort of actively dislike. Perfidious Pete doesn't really... I'm like the least outdoorsy person you will ever encounter. I actively dislike being out of doors. So we're sort of back at the top of the valley. Wait, what's that? That's something down there. There's like a banner or a barrister or something. Let's go check that out. These ferns. I mean, out in the real wilderness right now, I'd just be like having an attack of hay fever. It'd be nonstop sneezing. My eyes would be all swollen up and clotted, stupid outside, and it's goddamn allergens and just generalized misery. The creaking trees are back. Which, by the way, would make a great name for a Neon Trees cover band. The Creaking Trees. Is this just one giant cul-de-sac full of nothing? There's got to be something back here. They didn't go to all the trouble of making this entire area and filling it with this many ferns for it to not have something in it. Actually taking a little frame rate drop here back in these ferns. They're so well detailed. My graphics card, which is respectably powerful, is actually chugging a little bit here. What's up here? There can't be nothing back here. I refuse to believe that this whole area is filled with nothing. It would be sort of a great kind of, ha, gotcha kind of thing from the developers to have put all of this back here. Wait, there it is. That is something. If ever I have seen something, that is it. I don't know what you are, thing, but you are something. And I'm going to come and maybe touch you. I know that sounded vaguely ominous and more than a little threatening. Hey, I'm going to come touch you and there's nothing you can do. Okay. Why'd you have to make it weird, Pete? It's sort of my thing. I always make it weird. So what is it? I'm not actually sure what the hell that is. It looks like a lamppost. Why is there a lamppost out here in the middle of nowhere? And why is it on? Okay. Some manner of puzzle? So blue is good? What the hell? I just saw a spaceman run into the... Okay. I guess we're supposed to follow the spaceman? Why are you here, spaceman? I'm really confused. You're definitely kind of out of your element in that your element typically would be the absolute and total lack of all elements in the vacuum of space. And yet here you are in full space gear running through the forest at a relatively high rate of speed. And teleporting nonetheless. Could you help a brother out with one of those teleporting devices though? Did you go up this way? You went up this way. I'm gonna catch him. I got you. Nope. Oh sure. Oh, I got a teleporter. You can't catch. You fucking cheater. If this was a foot race, I'd destroy you. Yeah, you better keep teleporting. It's the only way you're gonna stay ahead of me, chump stain. He's just having me run in a big circle. You just drug me right back to where we started. Was that entirely necessary? Is it just that you feel I'm not getting enough cardio? I mean, I'm probably not. You're right to be concerned. My overall cardiovascular health is definitely subpar, but is this really necessary? Just making me run through all these ferns? It's killing my hay fever, dog. Where are you taking me? Back this way? Yep. Why are we going back this way? Hey. Oh, whoa. Excuse me? Oh, this doesn't make a whole hell of a lot of sense. What the shit is this? Things have taken a delightful turn for the strange. Now, if my boy Jupiter Jones was here from the three investigators, he would incorrectly cite the principle of Occam's razor and say that all things being equal, the simplest explanation tends to be the correct one. Which isn't actually what Occam's razor has anything to do with, although I mention that all the time. How come movies and television always get Occam's razor wrong? It's not a difficult principle to understand. It actually just says that simpler hypotheses are better because they're more easily falsified. But if my boy Jupiter Jones, his, Occam's razor failings aside, were here, he would be like, Bob, Pete, there's no way this can be real. This is fake. This is some kind of high-tech shenanigans and tomfoolery, and probably, was it Pete or Bob? I think it was Pete, whose dad worked as a special effects man, would be like, I remember this. My dad did this on the set of the film The Man with the Missing Legs. This is all chicanery. This is just a high-powered halogen lamp inside of a disco ball. And then they'd be like, haha, mystery solved, and they'd go and thwart the villain. I don't know, I guess we're supposed to go in this. All right, I'll let you beam me up here. Oh, shit. Well then, okay. So we are now flying relatively high above what I'm assuming is Red Creek Valley. Suddenly this game has gone from the mystery of the man with the missing legs to the explorers. Also getting a lot of controller vibration, which I really wish I could shut off. What the hell? Now we're in a wormhole. So Einstein-Rosen bridge, but yeah, it's a fucking wormhole. I'm sorry. I hate to break it to you, but sci-fi has redubbed these. I don't care if Einstein and Rosen are the ones who actually came up with the hypothesis. That's more of a Bob quote than a Jupiter Jones quote, by the way. Bob would be like, oh, by the way, Jupiter is actually called an Einstein-Rosen bridge. And Jupiter would be like, yeah, they're a wormhole, Bob, just because you look at the library. Stop getting all smarty pants. So what's that? More of these pods are scattered around in the wilderness. Okay. So, oh, we can actually move around in the pod. So we have one pod. 2 pods, 3 pods. Well, aren't we just 4 peas in a pod? What the hell am I supposed to be doing here? Is there oh, there's a control panel of some... It's an odd place to find a handwritten note, but I'll allow it, I guess. Fangs. No, I didn't want to put it down. I wanted to read it.
Always with the stories.
Get out!
I read the Fangs one. I liked the Beast. At least he gets to leave this goddamn place.
Wait, was Travis the kid with no legs? Did we solve the mystery? I didn't get to read it, though. Is this it? Yeah, okay. I want to read Fangs, damn it. The beast had fangs, but was heavy and slow, so when it saw the light in the sky, it waited, thinking the light would go out like the others before it. When it did not, the beast stood, rose up on its legs, and went to the place where the fire was still burning. As the orange light died, another took its place. This one was blue, a bright and pure blue that the creature had only seen along the edges of the stars. The beast showed its fangs, and the light vanished. A moment later, the light appeared again between 2 distant trees. The beast wanted to go home, but could not ignore the light, so it chased it deeper into the forest. When the light stopped, it did so in a clearing of trees. The beast entered the circle, feeling no fear. The trees turned toward the beast, pointing at it like needles, but the tops of the trees lowered and dug into the ground. The trunks and roots were raised into the air and closed around the beast like walls. As the ground disappeared, the beast realized it could never use its fangs again. Okay, so definitely we're getting some imagery of, like, being helpless and trapped. Okay, let's just put that back then. What's this one? Abstruse tales? Okay. Gaylord scrawled across the front of it. I'm guessing probably that's the work of Travis. The Yellow Hills of Mars by Douglas Spalding, plus Julian West, Clarence Carlyle, Micah Arden, and many others. America's finest science fiction. July 1964, or rather January of 1964. There's nothing written on the back. Nope. Okay. So we've gotten another glimpse into Ethan's life. He's really into incredibly old sci-fi. Is that pillar still here, by the way? The little, like, it's definitely gone. Wait, no, is this where we came in at? It is not. It was, the pillar was, oh, here it is over here. Wait, no, this is where the thing was, but now it's been replaced by like a, well, basically a kid's fort. Fort Imagination, as Ethan liked to call it. Fort Triumph. Fort No Big Stinky Travises Allowed. That's what I would have called it. So yeah, it was like right here, and now it's definitely not here. Alright, well, I can't imagine Fort Imagination was going to hold off Travis for too terribly long, even though it is, you know, got some railroad ties holding it up. The rest of it's pretty shoddily constructed. No wonder he was so easily able to invade, Ethan. You got to shore up your defenses a little bit there, champ. Why one purple plant amidst all the non-purples? Why you got to be different? You know, it's the odd nail that gets pounded down, nature. That's all I'm saying. So I guess there's really nothing left for us to do but explore in this direction. I was honestly expecting there to be something more about the guy with no freaking legs over here, but instead we just get like a spaceman car chase adventure. And then it's back to the, well, don't worry about the guy without the legs. Instead, why don't you go explore this logging camp? You know what? I refuse to explore this logging camp. Also, we're back down the train tracks to a station. Why? The train doesn't make any sense here. If this is like a logging camp, which clearly it's supposed to be, and this train is made for the transportation of logs, which I think we can all agree clearly it's supposed to be, then, oh, wait, where the hell are we? Wait, where's Legless Rick? He's still here, right? This is where we went into the reverse, like the back clearing. Oh, maybe we just teleported away from the... Hold on, let's see if that little pillar is back, because I wasn't where I thought I was. I was much, much further down the path. If I come back, is that thing still here? It should be around in this neighborhood. Or is it gone forever now? It was like right down over here, wasn't it? Is there anything in its place? Doesn't seem like it. The mystery of the man with the missing legs just keeps getting deeper and deeper, man. Every time I think I'm getting closer to the bottom of the rabbit hole, I learn just how far down the rabbit hole goes. And I didn't even take a blue or red pill. I'm feeling a little out of my element here. So we wound up much, much further down the tracks than I was expecting. Yeah, we ran a really long way. I just want to go see if the man with the missing legs is still there. He didn't disappear, did he? So is it every time that we step through one of those weird kind of portal things, we're going into an alternate universe? So this is, okay, yeah, we were, I mean, this existed before, so up around here, if we go around this way and up, we should be back by Rasputin's corpse. By the way, since I didn't steal this guy's wallet and can't remember his name, I'm just calling him Rasputin henceforth. Beaten, bloodied, left for dead, legless on the ground. I mean, it's very clearly Grigory Rasputin. Are you still up here, Raspy? Yep, he's still there. If I touch him, is it bigger? Oh, no, it is not bigger at all. It got bigger earlier, but it's still the same size now. So what did we miss up here that we didn't get a narrative element? That's my question. We touched everything. We poked the severed legs. We poked the rope. What did we miss? We must have missed something back here where I feel like we would have gotten... the story beat already. We spun the crank. We've already been in this because we moved it. So we already moved the train. We found the rock already. We put the rock back. How do we get more of the man? I want to solve the mystery of the man with the missing legs. I'm less enthused about the astronaut mystery, although, I mean, it mostly seems to be solved. Ethan's brother is kind of a jerk. Done. Story over. It's short, but, you know, a story doesn't have to be complex to have meaning. What if can we jump in here? Oh, we can't, right, we can't jump. Can we get in there? No. Is there anything over here that we may have overlooked? Doesn't seem like it. No, our choice really only seems to be come over here and go down past the train station, I guess. Let's walk all the way over in this direction. There's Ethan's little fort. Just make sure we didn't bypass anything around in this region. I don't think we did. No. All right. So the mystery of the man with the missing legs is going to have to remain a mystery for a little bit longer. I guess what we've discovered is that Perfidious Pete is no fucking Jupiter Jones. I mean, I can put on a Hawaiian shirt all I want, but I'm never going to be the world's foremost junior detective. Mostly because Jupiter Jones, Robin, and, I don't know, probably a young Sherlock Holmes. And you know what? To a lesser extent, I think also a young Indiana Jones. They've probably already beaten me to the punch. Plus, you know, I'm like 4 decades older than they are, so there's that too. I can't be the youngest junior detective when I'm well into my middle age at this point. Nope, this is it. There's nothing else, nothing to see. Wait, what is this? Oh, just a birch tree. I got really excited because I saw something bright and shiny off in the distance. Turns out it's just a freaking birch tree. Is that? Yep, that's okay. That's all there is. Well, I guess I'll just come over here, sit on one of these benches, and have a good long think about where I went wrong in my life that I didn't wind up a member of the 3 investigators. I'm no Jupiter Jones. If you enjoyed the episode, feel free to drop a like down in the comments section. Support really does mean a lot. And if you'd like to see more of me being terrible at solving mysteries and also just astoundingly gorgeous scenery, you might consider subscribing as well. Post new episodes of The Vanishing of Ethan Carter every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And I am going to figure out what happened to that dude's legs. I mean, not where they went, because we saw that, but, you know, why they're not attached to his body anymore, and why after he already had his legs chopped off, somebody still felt the need to beat his head in with a rock, and maybe beat him with the crank of a diesel locomotive. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. Oh, wait, what time is it? Hold on, this is important. This clock appears to not be working because it says it's 5 after 7. Well, technically it's 4 after 7. It seems a little... Well, I mean, I suppose it could be 4 out. That clock may be right. It could be towards dusk. If it's in the summertime or late fall, you know, the sun might still be up at 4 after 7. Is the clock right? Find out next time. Right now, thanks very much for watching. I'll see you again soon.